Islam, Vede Makum. Welcome to NWAR Astrology. I am John NWAR. Today is Friday, December the 8th, 2021. Happy Holy Day, Moors, Muslims, and everyone else as well. It's been a crazy couple of days, right? And a lot has happened. So before we get into the energies coming in, I want to just do a quick recap on the last couple of days. On the 6th of January, we had the presidential electors selected, the votes counted, and at the same time there was also obviously a lot of theatrics and a rush into the Capitol building, and some people, a lot of craziness in terms of how it was portrayed by the media, and a lot of tensions and emotions stirred up because of that aspect, as well as the aspect in which we communicate with each other on social media, I believe, and people sharing and seeing tidbits of information. Unfortunately, a few people did lose their lives. I believe it was 4 people when it was all said and done. On camera, there is a scene of a young woman. And the rest of it is just things that I've read and heard about. I haven't seen anything. I believe I heard one police officer. And we'll all see what it ends up being at the end of the day, because there was a lot of weirdness going on with what we saw. And so I don't want to disrespect if anyone did lose their life, because regardless of what we may see, that can still happen in these situations, right? So I just want to put that out there before I continue with the rest of this astrology drop. But it was definitely a media circus. There was a lot of things that were seen that didn't quite make sense. And as the days went on, more things were revealed, and we'll get into that. So on the 6th, this happens. Fast forward overnight, the mainstream media is now saying that Joe Biden is going to be the president, as they have been saying, and during this time, what was really happening was a lot of energies were being stirred up, and a lot of emotions are being stirred up, and a lot of rhetoric is being spoken and being traded, and in the media, and both in discourse that the public is having with one another. If you are, paying attention to discourse on social media, as I imagine you are, because this is a pandemic and the majority of everyone is on their phone or computer all the time because they're inside and they're not really outside walking around, right? And this is how we communicate now in 2021. Everybody's on an app talking to each other. Very Aquarian age energy, right? So what is happening is tensions are riling up, as they always do here in America, and people are pitted against one another, right? Light against dark, so-called black against so-called white, right? So this is causing America to fall back into some of the same energies in which it has seen itself for far too long. And a lot of the energy that we saw happen last year with the Capricorn stellium of Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter was about the breaking down of structures. And I think people really need to understand that. I think people really need to kind of accept that energy as something that has happened already and that we are in. A lot of people are still trying to cling on to old ideologies, old thought patterns, old emotional triggering reactions. They're trying to cling on to an old system, old structures, the same old people in these structures. And I think there is just a level of honesty that I am not seeing. There's a level of people who are here as way showers and guides who are not seeming to be fully tapped into their intuition. Because all year long I listened to every astrologer I knew talk about how systems are falling, structures changing. But what we saw yesterday, the last 2 days, is the same dog and pony show we have seen over and over and over again. And people are continuing to act like they don't see it, as they always have. The news media, the people who are looked to from the common man as, a way shower or a guide, a trusted source, an advisor, right? Source of information that helps them steer their lives, make decisions. These people have lied to people for decades. And people know this. And people need to say it just straight up. The mainstream media is lying about everything. And the astrology says that it's lying about everything. And for people to be astrologers, and I know people have different political beliefs and all these sorts of things, and I get, different egos and different whatnot, and that all comes into place. And, people make money doing this, and they have a different fan base, and they have different communities that they speak to, and they don't want to step on any toes, and I get all that. But, the one thing I keep hearing astrologers, people say, like, I'm afraid, I don't want to get too political. Well, as it's obvious, I'm not one of those people. I'm a Moorish American. I'm indigenous to this land. The system of astrology is connected to my culture, anciently. See, what I'm doing here is actually very, very important. I believe what the majority of astrologers are doing is very important. And I don't, who am I? I'm just new, I'm just some guy that just started doing this. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody's watching these videos anyway. But it just needs to be said, because people look to people because they don't know what's going on. They don't understand what's going on. And, there's something to be said. So I'm not gonna, all I'm saying is it's just a weird thing to see. Astrology has been used for centuries. In the church, in government, in politics. It's the history we all study. I don't understand why we have all these dates that we talk about, these historical dates about these discovery of this land, or this person being a king, or this person overthrowing that. These are political things that are happening. This is what we saw in the 6th. In the future, astrologers will be looking up January 6, 2021 and talking about it. You know, so people have a responsibility, and maybe I'm just passionate about this because, you know, I am a Libra Sun and Mercury, and a Scorpio rising. So I'm about truth, justice, and I'm also about transformation. I'm about the Phoenix rising. I'm about digging in the depths and bringing the occult to light. That's why I'm doing this. I want to say that. That's why I'm making these videos, because I've seen for a long time my people be toyed with by a corrupt, evil system. And there are far too many people that know what's going on and just don't want to talk about it. And there's plenty of people who do, and shout out to them, you know, salute, you know. But yeah, I mean, I've been talking already for like 12 minutes. It's just, all right, let me get into the astrology. So on the 7th, the sun was in Capricorn, right? And Capricorn brings pressure and stress. And the moon is here in Scorpio, digging in the deep, the depths and the deep. And it's about transformation. Mars is ingressed into Taurus, right? And so Mars is fiery and passionate. And it's there in Taurus now, where Uranus has been transiting, meeting up, heading towards a conjunction towards Taurus. And if my memory strikes me, you know, if I'm recalling correctly, on the 20th, on Inauguration Day, it is Mars and Taurus conjunct, but I'll have to double check that. So as Mars is now in Taurus with Uranus, and Uranus it deals with swift, inspired electrical change. Uranus is a sky god, and it rules the air as well. Information, right? There's an aspect of that is part of this. And Taurus is fixed earth. Taurus is the dirt. Taurus is the earth and the ground, right? It's there. It's the nutrient that we all stand upon. It's firm. It does not move. It is the rock. It is heavy. It is the mountain. You know, it is fixed and strong in its position. And it does have an aspect of growth. Like, you know, Taurus would be personified as, or whatever the opposite of personified is. Taurus is the grass, right? It's slowly growing, but it is the nutrients that's supporting everything. It's what we value. The dirt is what we really value, because it's what grows the crops, that which is all of our value. And those crops would be, you know, the plants that grow, the flowers. That's more of the Virgo, you know, something that grows and it kind of is a little bit more malleable and shifting. And so Mars and Uranus in Taurus. So Mars and Uranus in Taurus is the energy of a volcano erupting. It's that fiery passion with the storm clouds brewing, right? And the electrical shocks that erupt the fixed mountainous stable earth and just very destructive, and there's molten lava that spreads. But after time, after it cools slowly over time, this is where new earth, a new island, a new land, a new paradigm will grow from. And this is the energy that we're in, and this is the energy that we saw start on the 6th. This is a slow energy. Remember, Taurus is the bull, and it does not want to move. So if you're too pushy too fast, you're gonna get the horns. And I think if people understood astrology, they would see what's coming because of that. Mercury was at the final degrees of Capricorn here. And the Mercury in Capricorn, and that's asking us to adopt careful thinking and that's what it's been doing as it's transited over the past several weeks. To be very careful in our thinking and to be very diligent as Capricorn can be in our thinking. And so Venus is in Sagittarius also at the anaretic degree, 29, at the end of Sagittarius. And so this has been about learning about our values and really learning about what our values were, going to the depths. But it's also about belief. So Sagittarius deals with belief. And Venus is just past the South Node, and so it's bringing us from our values being placed in a sense of belief and ascending towards the North Node in Gemini. And Gemini deals with experiments, investigation, deals with the facts, and it deals with holding your value based in the experiential, the experiential, right? What's real. It's more than belief, what we can prove, and holding your values there. And that is the energy that is upon us at this time. Neptune, which rules both dreams and illusion and the media, is squared the North and South nodes. And the South node is in a social house, and the North node is in a personal house. And so the dreams or illusions, depending, that are being projected by the media is at a conflict, a square, something that needs to take some sort of action or change, both externally but also within ourselves, right? And how we're dealing and processing with these things. And the South node being the social house, what is on the outside, I would say that's the media, that is the illusion. And the North node, right, dealing in the personal house, this is the meditation, this is the dream, what we want to create. This is where we find our values in things that we have, what is proven, what is fact, what we can see, not what we just merely feel or believe. And I'm not saying not to have that, because it is very, very important aspect of existence. Intuition is so very important. But it's important not to get stuck in past beliefs in a time of immense change with Uranus and Mars and Taurus, when anything can happen, right? I wanted to read you the Sabian symbols for Venus at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. The Pope blessing the faithful. The symbol shows being present, on board, and there for people when they need it. The Pope instills hope, a sense of wonder. He is said to be a representative of God on earth. Blessings come from worshiping a higher power with people of like mind. This shows that people will dispense rewards upon those who are eager to receive from them. This often shows a spokesperson that will be heard by everyone. Show respect and reverence to others, as this will lead to rewards of their own. This can show someone having a powerful memory. They remember their faces and names of people and often have a powerful presence and charisma. Rituals. Someone high up acknowledging and rewarding. Rewards of loyalty, bonuses. The source of enormous inner riches. Power and its responsibility, seeking absolution. The caution. Sublimating political ritual. Lust for power. Negating, projecting, and transferring one's shadow. Not taking responsibility. Jealousy of those with power. Disrespect. So to bring it back to the events, because this is the 7th, to bring back on the events of the 6th and 7th, what we saw and what was caused in social media caused a lot of disrespect based on belief, based on emotion, based on ego, based in feelings. We saw sublimating political ritual. We saw them disrupting the session that they had there. We also saw a lot of negating, right? A lot of projecting and transferring of one's shadow. A lot of not taking responsibility. There was an opportunity for evidence to be heard and addressed. A special committee could have been set up. Did not want it to happen. I wonder why. This shows that people will dispense rewards upon those who are eager to receive from them.
And he did not reveal who had paid him off. Let's take a quick look at the video together.
Look, I just left the protest.
I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys seen this video, eh?
I got a big bruise on my leg. I had a difficult time pulling off the act that I was paid to do. And I'm making this video because I want to confess that I was paid to pretend to protest today. I can't say by who, but I will just say that it's a organized effort.
You know, there was a lot of people who were saying that if it was so and so, if it was Moorish people, if it was so-called black people, that they would have been shot dead, you know, where they stand, and it's never would have happened. Back to the same old poor us rhetoric that is pushed on us. And this is something that was like, you know, who thought this up? Who's the first person that said this? I think people should look at that. I'm not saying that these feelings aren't legitimate because I've felt that way before. I know where it's coming from. But there's an issue here. There's an issue that's not being addressed and that people are not seeing, is that they are being manipulated. That very thing is being used to manipulate you. You know, I put this up on my Facebook page, you know, when the Black Panthers stormed the Capitol building. They didn't get shot and killed. So history has already shown that this rhetoric that passed like wildfire and incensed many communities across the nation wasn't based, in fact, like Gemini, but rather like Sagittarius, in belief of people feeling, and people that have been made to feel like they're less than, by this very same institution that we are talking about right now. A lot of videos come out. You know, people want to say it's one group, it's the other group. A lot of video has come out. And it looks to be that, as it was the same with Black Lives Matter before, now with the Patriots, that Antifa or some other group, definitely agent provocateurs, have infiltrated and set off this event. Why? By who? There's a video of a dude confessing to it. I don't really want to go too far into because people at the end of the day, I know people are going to believe what they're going to believe either way. They're either going to think I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, or they're going to agree with me. But it doesn't matter who's doing what. It's more so important to pay attention to what is happening. That's what I'm just trying to illustrate with this video. It connects exactly with the astrology. And a lot of people look at astrology and it's funny that they'll be like, it's not real, but it's definitely real. And the stuff that happens that you see on your television is definitely played out according to astrology. Do not think for a minute that the people that run this world don't practice astrology or don't have astrologers. What's the saying? Millionaires don't study astrology. Billionaires do. Mercury at 29 degrees of Capricorn. I don't know. I feel like I'm coming off with a probably not the best energy, but for me, to be honest, if I'm gonna be honest for a second, it's just sad. It's sad to see what's happening. It's sad to see how upset and angry. I'm an empath, right? So I feel this stuff very deeply. Like, I want to get angry too. I want to get angry too. What's happening, regardless of how real you think it is or how real you don't think it is happening to people. There are people that are playing with other people's lives. This is the reality of this world. This is the reality of this world that is being let out. And everybody knows, a few families, these people control the world. Everybody kind of knows, but they don't really think about it, about how much all of these things that are affecting their lives are actually being controlled, and they are being manipulated so that they do not take back their power. Mercury at 29 degrees Capricorn. Directors of a large firm meet in secret conference after, right? The guy, Mars and Taurus, right? Literally Mars and Taurus, the guy with the bull horns, dressed like a barbarian, right in the front, goes into the Citadel, right? The Citadel of Liberty is, I believe, what they called it, the Capitol building, which is the very Taurian fixed monument, right? Anyway, this is a little comical to me. It's a little upsetting. I'm still trying to process the feelings, to be honest with you. And this is actually not how I intended to record this video at all. I wanted to kind of just ignore a lot of this stuff, but I thought about it when I started, when I pressed play, and I think, there's a responsibility that people have to their fellow man and to this is Aquarian energy, right? And there's just a responsibility that those with knowledge have, a duty that they have to share understanding with others, because we are in the age of Aquarius, whether we like it or not. And anyway, I'm sorry. This whole thing is just bullshit. And it's bullshit. It's all fake. It's all fake. United States of America is a de facto corporation. Morocco. This is Al-Morocco. All the people who think that they are black are Moorish Americans. This is why they're playing with your energy and controlling you. That's why they keep forcing you to vote. Because they don't want you to know that you got rights to the land. Got all All of us on the Democratic side, even though the Republic is ours, even though a Republican form of government is guaranteed in the Constitution, and that's it. The Republican Party was started by us. I need people to really start to understand, because we could be building, but we're controlled. This video will probably get taken down. It probably won't even get showed, whatever. But I'm gonna do what I'm doing. It's not easy to just do this, because I wanna make money with astrology, but I wanna be truthful. And I don't wanna just tell people what's gonna make them feel good all the time, especially not when I see it. I'm a Libra, I'm about justice. Anyway, let's get back to 29 degrees of Capricorn. We're dealing with Mercury, so we're dealing with mental realm, we're dealing with communication. We're dealing with words, right, that are passed back and forth. How we're talking to each other, what we're thinking, what we're reading. All right. Directors of a large firm meet in a secret conference. The symbol shows meeting with others in order to lay out plans, to have secret meetings of people that are often VIPs in some way, or at least in charge of decisions or governments or empires. The directors meet. They conference or just conference call, exchange views, ideas, gossip. There may be decisions to be made or plans to be laid out. Do you make all your decisions on your own, or do you need help? You can often call on the relevant, knowledgeable friends or authorities, as you're bound to know them or how to meet them, and you'll iron out the details. Sometimes, however, you may feel shut out by those in charge. Masterly control, sharing innermost secrets, confidential information, big guys calling the shots, governments and secret spies having a say, councils, doors broken into, people shot through doors, right? People all of a sudden just disappearing, running away from their positions, right? Secret spies, people pretending to be one party when they're not the other party. Like the Boston Tea Party, y'all. This is not new. These tactics are not new. So I don't want to see my people, who I know are smart, intelligent, brave people, behave like they don't know American history. It's upsetting, it's hurtful, it's embarrassing. Honestly, this is why these people feel like they can do what they can do. This is the most honest astrology video I'm sure anybody's ever seen. This shit is corrupt, man. This shit is corrupt. The caution: excluding those affected by decisions, exploiting people or situations, being kept in the dark, gossip, loose lips, refusal of entry, the glamour of big business. The glamour of big business. People getting paid off by certain institutions. Like, I could spell it out more, but I don't feel like I should have to spell it out more, honestly, at this point. They set up a Fugazi riot to distract the people so they could shut down a legal process that would have been transparent, because it was being aired out. I was watching this on multiple devices at the same time just to see. Something was said, they went to recess, the riot thing happened, they came back in the middle, let the dude finish. They did two and a half more minutes in the middle of the recess. And then, lady gets shot, supposedly dies. The police just asked them to leave. I mean, at this point, if you've been paying attention, you've seen that the police actually let these protesters in there. There's reports of them being supposedly Antifa, supposed. I don't even know if that organization is a real thing, to be honest with you. This is being shown, the mainstream media is hiding it. So, I've seen it. I'm not gonna sit here and record this video after posting this, stuff already for the last 2 days and act like I'm not talk about it. I don't know what other people have seen, and this is not a condemnation of anyone else. You know, I don't know how safe people feel talking about these things. You know, how much people even know about history. But I mean, I've heard a number of astrologers mention that the country was started by George Washington, who was a Freemason. Who else in our government is a Freemason then? Y'all don't know about this? Cowards. People are cowards, man. They're either cowards or they're phonies. And they are part of the illusion. You want to see Mars and Uranus and Taurus, man? Because I feel like I'm getting a fire inside of me right now with what I'm seeing. People probably won't like this video. But that's okay, because I'm not really here for likes. I'm here for the truth. They can take it down, they can do whatever they want. There's so much censorship going on, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous that the people, that not every single person that is seeing the censorship, that is claiming to be American, because there's a lot of people that claim to be American and they're not American. And they do not care about the true history of this country. They do not care about what is right. They do not care about what is moral. They do not care about what is lawful. There are a lot of people who are wolves in sheep's clothing. A lot of skinwalkers. A lot of people who wear other people's culture. And what do? They cry foul. They cry wolf all the time. Manipulating the indigenous aboriginal people of this culture using their energy. There are literally entities that feed off of our energy. There are energies that feed off of fear. This is gonna look fucking nuts to people. I'm actually kind of having fun with it now that I think about it. It's freeing to say this. It's freeing to say this, and maybe hopefully it'll inspire a few other people too, right? Let's not act like we don't know. Let's not act like we don't know anymore. They know that we know. We know that they know that we know. All right, let's just be ourselves. Let's just all be ourselves. I needed to take a smoke break and chill out. Mars and Taurus, right? Not too much. Even though I already did the most. So let's talk about today. It was Friday, January the 8th of 2021. Happy holy day. Mercury ingressed into Aquarius. So this brings thoughts into the mental realm, right? And like it's a shifting of thoughts from humanitarianism to individualism. Like, what is the greater good versus the individual good? What is the greater societal evil versus the individual's evil? It's the transition of the thoughts between these energies, between these idealisms, between everything that we see going on around us and everything that we feel within ourselves. You know, now Mercury, the sun is still in Capricorn, so Mercury is ahead, it's moved ahead of the sun. And so this has our thought process venturing out into the unknown, venturing out into what is not illuminated. And Aquarius is about future thinking, and Mercury is going to be in Aquarius for a while. I believe it's 9 weeks that it's going to be there, because Mercury, it goes into retrograde on the 30th. Then I think it turns back on the 20th of February, and then it's out of Aquarius by the 14th or the 15th of March. And so Aquarius is future thinking. So we have 9 weeks of time to think about how we want to build our communities, how we want to build and change the realities around us. 9 weeks to think about what is the future of our system becoming, and what do we want it to be individually? Like, what is what we are going to be seeing over these next 9 weeks in the external, what is being projected, is what we're seeing, what vibes with us, you know? Is there an aspect of starting to see and acknowledge that, you know, these people don't really represent me? You know, Aquarius, it's about community, social structures, right? Like, Mercury's a messenger, and Mercury moves very fast. So it's gonna also be about the ability to communicate in these social structures, in these social communities, like social media. You know, we saw the deletion of Trump's Twitter, Facebook. I believe they also deleted the General Flynn, and then the lawyer. Oh man, her name is slipping my mind at the moment. They deleted their accounts as well. And this is not anything new though, right? Like we've seen this all year on social media, you know, and Mercury is coming into a conjunction with Saturn tomorrow. So like, you know, we could expect a little bit more of this to come. Like, I'm sure if I looked back over the times in which Mercury was coming to squares or oppositions with Saturn in the past, it was probably the times where his tweets were deleted before, or one of these big social tech companies was in the court case, one of the various court cases that they were having, either dealing with censorship or privacy violations, right? Like the same people that are shutting down a sitting president of a country have been censoring people all year while spying on them, and people are cheering them on, acting like it's a good thing, like it's okay because the shiny box told them the orange man was bad. You know, it's just insane to me the way that I see it all happening and how it seems so obvious. But I mean, I guess it doesn't seem obvious from the way that I see people discussing it. I don't know. And it's like, yeah, it's all a distraction anyway, right? Like, it's not real. What does it matter? But to me, it matters because I see how many people are focused on it. Like, it does matter. People try to say, like, oh, just focus on yourself and you can do that. But, like, there is a collective aspect of human consciousness. And I'm a Libra sun sign, so it's something I pay attention to. They shut the whole world down because people do things collectively. They manipulate energy, right? Because they know what happens in some levels is happening collectively to us. There is a connection there. I don't know, man. It's just a weird. It's just a weird thing to see so many people just okay with what's happening, like just like that, like real quick. And I don't know. I don't seem to think like the majority of anyone that I actually personally know when it comes to this. I mean, there's a few people, but you know, That is an interesting thing for me to be aware of. That is, I think, a lot of this Aquarian energy, right? Value. What I believe was value, and then seeing through testing different situations and relationships, who and what is for you, what is your tribe, I think that's the energy we're all coming into. I see people that are not really, like they can't be thinking that deeply about some of this stuff. They have to, like, I just don't understand. And I know it was a tough year. It was a real tough year last year, back to back to back. But how much of it would be avoided if the collective of people sometimes listened to the outlier? If the people didn't move with so much hate when their emotions and their chakras hitting people at that lower chakra. People talking about spiritual ascension and superpowers. Honestly, a lot of people didn't get into downloads. A lot of people missed the upgrades. This is what's showing right now. I'm just thinking for a second, because this video, I think, is me just talking. This is a different kind of NWAR astrology, right? Maybe this is a shift. This country is important to me. My people are important to me. I wish that we all were able to fully and freely live our lives to our greatest potentials without the encumbrance of parasites. But I understand that everybody has their part to play in the grand game, right? That's what this world, this reality is. There's always going to be people trying to stop you as you're moving forward. And every time we're making great progress, something is unleashed to distract. I don't understand how people can see the censorship aspect of it and not say, that seems a little weird. Like, people make memes and joke about shit, but then the next thing you know, they're in some sort of concentration camp or something. Like, it's not actually funny what's happening. The whole world shut down. A lot of people died. A lot of people were murdered, probably. There's so many things about the coronavirus and this pandemic. I don't even want to call it that. That's a stupid word, but it makes actually sense. It's kind of funny that there's so many things about this that have just not made sense from day one. And so many people just believe every single thing they see on the television screen. A real moment. And maybe this is just, this is me just getting all this out. Like, I don't even know, honestly, if people really even see the content that I usually put out. I don't know if the algorithms suppress it. I do know that, there are a lot of people that are talking about this. A lot of people. I know it's not as hidden as it used to be. So I just don't understand. I don't understand why people keep fucking with the Democrats, and I'm not even for either of that shit, because the United States is fucking de facto, right? But I don't understand why, even if you didn't know the history, why people wouldn't think to get together and do their own thing if these people keep lying to you and keep using you if they never hold their end of the bargain up. The Democratic Party, started by the KKK. Moorish people used to be majority Republicans. Malcolm X, he was Republican. Martin Luther King Jr. was a Republican. All of these civil rights leaders and people they like to put in your face on the TV, right? They were Republicans. Only reason black people went to the Democratic Party was when JFK went and got him out, I believe. Things shifted there. And now it's worse. Now people are talking about being Marxists, communists, and all kinds of stuff. And that is literally what people are saying about the Democratic Party being infiltrated by the CCP, you know? And even if people want to be like, people will use they'll use their cognitive dissonance and be like, oh, well, you just think that because you read this, did you see that in this video? That's propaganda, blah, blah, blah. But did the Democrats not do the whole thing about Russia for like 2.5 years? Like, I just want people to address the facts, right? North Node and Gemini. Not belief. We're not dealing with how you feel anymore. Stellium in Capricorn. Saturn-Pluto conjunction, age of Aquarius. Right now the sun is in Capricorn, Pluto is in Capricorn, 24 degrees. Transformation, it's time to grow up. Capricorn, right? You either become the adults, stop being the minority, right? Grown people calling themselves that. Like, that's weird. Because you believe their statistics. Since you believe statistics, what about the statistical improbabilities? Dealing with this supposed election, which is all fake anyway, too, as far as I'm concerned. That shit is ignored. It's ignored by grown, intelligent people because it doesn't suit their feelings. And I just gotta wonder personally, like, what types of people? What types of people are these? What types of people? There's crazy, crazy, crazy allegations that are going around about a lot of different people that are in this supposed government, right? All these people you see on TV, all of them. It's not even just like this one or that one. It's a lot of them, you know? And the people, the average citizen, doesn't want to look into them, and these things are terrible. These things are heinous. I would demand, but shouldn't we all be demanding answers? It's a time to address it in court, finally, publicly, right? Prove it's not real, then. Prove it's a conspiracy theory. You have a chance. Are people not using like basic logic right here? Like, for me personally, this is a very, I don't even know why I'm still recording this video, because I guess it's just me talking about things that I think I need to be said. It's like, I don't even know if I'm gonna put this up as a NWAR astrology video. But I mean, I did talk, I wanted to show people through astrology as well, you know, what was going on. But for me, and I don't know, I think, and this is the energy, right? This is the energy here. Mercury in Aquarius, 0 degrees coming up to Saturn. Saturn and Jupiter here. So, you know, this didn't fit the format. This is really long. I don't even know if anybody would be watching it this long. I think it's probably all together like over an hour, all right? But I guess it's just me just sharing my thoughts on what I'm seeing on social media, right? Why not? Everybody else does it. It's just disappointing personally, I think, how much people complain, but how little they seem to understand about politics and what's going on, or history, or like understanding that it's all connected. Like, because people do understand that it's all connected, like, right? Fucking showing you movies of fucking World War II and slavery and all that shit all the time, right? Fucking all these night movies, crusade movies, same times they always talk about, that's it, right? You know, people seem to act like they just don't want to like accept the truth that there's certain things that they were lied to and manipulated about. And that's the whole point. It's happening right now, and it's happening in such a way that it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. And it's like, all right, so I know there's a certain amount of some people down with it. They're down with it. I get that. We know that. Right? No matter what color they are. Because people are not fucking colors. They have nationalities. None of these politicians talking about that, you know? It's like people treat people like me like we're crazy a lot of the time. Even if it's subtle, they don't get it. We're fucking psychic. I'm psychic rather, but it's subtle shit. It's energy shit too sometimes, right? Especially the empath, like, you can feel your thought of, even if you don't like trying not to react on it. And I don't know, that's probably weird to admit to people, but that's real shit too. They hide that from you too. People know this. They're always talking about fucking chakras and all this shit and energy healing and all this stuff. Like, people need to stop acting like this is not part of reality. And that's what it is. It's the collective gaslighting. It's the fucking infinite gaslighting. It's not just the media doing it, but we all do it to one another. All right? If they can send a signal from a satellite, an electrical signal, down to the earth, if they know about these chakras, they're showing all these chakras, telepathy is real. People, I don't understand why anyone would act like, and I know there's a lot of people that believe in this, they know that, I get that, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to all the people who are the doubters right now. I'm talking to all the people who just say, no, it doesn't fit my little bubble, it's not real, therefore that person must be insane. Boom, throw them out. That's gaslighting. The collective gaslighting that happens. No, this person's saying something that's not true, doesn't fit my blah 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 person that I want. By everything. And it's like children, man. It's like people who are adults are behaving like children. They're not dealing with the facts. It's like kids in middle school, and they're like dealing with my team versus your team, and blocking and bullying. Like, it's the most obvious thing. And everybody wants to act like they're not the one that's being brainwashed. Everyone acts like they're so smart about shit. When everything's said and done, man, it's gonna be crazy. There's gonna be, like the astrology, there's gonna be a lot of mental fractures because people are not paying attention and not willing to see the shift in reality. what people signed up for just now, and I'm just gonna say this. I'm probably not even gonna put this video on YouTube because I'm gonna put this on my Facebook, and I'll probably take it down. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Maybe people watch it. It's gonna be pretty long, right? But I was on Facebook all year, like telling people not to vote. What people signed up their energy to on a karmic level, what people are caping for, what people are fighting for, what people ignored, you know, what people ignored, they like really messed up things. People ignored, you know, just put their heads under the rugs about. It's just messed up, man. It's messed up to see that it's the majority, like there's so many people. This is how people want to get revenge? Is this what they're doing? Is that what they're supposed to be doing? Wanting to let a party cheat? To see themselves in a position of power? We're a noble people. This Constitution comes from our law, from the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the great binding law of peace. See, because people lack understanding, they don't want to know and study their culture, their history. They don't get it. All year, people said that Constitution was being violated, rights were being taken away. All year, people said the math doesn't add up, the numbers doesn't add up. All year, people have said people on the television screen are lying to you, that you're looking up to are criminals. People say this shit all the time. It's like it's entertaining for people. You act like they can't do nothing about it. See, what people saw on television that they got so upset about, regardless of whether it was real or whether it was fake or whatever it was, right? It was people doing something about something. And I'm not condoning or telling anyone to do anything or commit any violence because I'm against that. But what I'm talking about is collectively getting together and taking an action to make a change. This can be done without violence. It can. It can be done without cheating as well. But that's not the character of America right now. And I stand amongst the few who will say what they saw. That was, it's BS. It's always BS, a lot of it, right? But people are still dying all the time and still being controlled all the time, infringed upon all the time. Moorish Americans, we are uniting, you know? And, you know, I'm really inspired about what the United Republic of Morocco is doing. And if you don't know about it, hit me up directly and I'll tell you. And honestly, I understand why the powers that be are doing what they're doing, but for me, it's trying to understand why it either is not obvious to the average person or why people are willing to ignore everything that is so glaringly wrong. at least in my eyes, and many other people I see who seem to understand who they are. They seem to see it too. And I can't help but think, because so-called, quote-unquote, black people, I don't even want to call you that, unconscious Moors, think of themselves, are made to think of themselves as black versus white, and all this racism stuff is there, that they're that blinded that they can't see through this. And I get everyone has their, their journey, and they're on their stage of their journey. I get that, and I don't mean to really offend anybody, but I don't understand. We're spiritual people, We're light beings, right? We're multidimensional beings. Like, this is who we are. This is what we are. Why would you even subscribe to any label they try to put you on? There's just a lot that I think people need to think about that they don't want to think about. And I think, honestly, knowing what I know, the situation would not be what it was if people would just simply wake up to the fact that these people are corrupt, all of them. But even with the sham of the de facto corporation, right, the United States government, Trump was trying to go through the courts, do the legal process. A whole year, everything the media told you was 100% against him. Everything the media told you was everything about so many people dying, all these things. Now the media is trying to help all these same politicians and all these same celebrities rush you to get this vaccine that you don't want to get, this vaccine that you heard all these fucking weird shit and weird things happening. You still voted for these people. You're still trying to help these people win. You're still not speaking up. I don't understand. Is the fear of this coronavirus that strong for you people? For everyone? For the average person? Is that really what it is? Because the statistics say it's a 99% survival rate. So, that alone, the vaccines are proving to be worse than the coronavirus so far. It's dangerous, right? People are dying left to right from the vaccines. The same, I'm not for or against either of these people, because I think that they are de facto. But I see one side that a dude is not trying to force this on people. He's not stopping it. He's not forcing it. And he's upheld constitutional rights, and the average American seems to be against it. At least, maybe not the average American. Maybe it's just because of where I'm from, I'm from New York City, right? But it's what I see online. Might be just, maybe that's it, connection. But I see other Moors seem to see and feel the same thing about all of the unconscious Moors in their life. That the majority of people feel this way. So what is this about? Why? This needs to be, I think, addressed on a deeper level, on a much deeper level. And so I don't know, maybe it's just me opening up that conversation. If you don't believe in any of this stuff and you're watching this video, please write in the comments. Let's have a dialogue. If you've never heard about any of this stuff before, please write in the comments. Let's have a dialogue. It's just upsetting to see. It's upsetting to see things have gotten this far. And, every single day I post the things that I post. So if you have are watching this video still, if you see this video, you know, if you do even see my posts, I mean, imagine if you see this one, you've seen the other ones, because I know how the algorithm works. Not everybody sees everybody's profile, but I do see a lot of different people's posts. I see a lot of the same people's posts over and over, so I imagine it's the same for people that see mine. I really don't understand it, honestly. And it seems like there's so much at risk for people to kind of go with it, like just to like get the dude out. It seems like, you know, what's going on? So, you know, you gotta hang on for the ride, right? Like it's a show, I guess. But it is really making me see and think and know my mind and my power and what I'm capable of and what I'm a part of and what I've seen in the path that I'm on. And I am very proud of myself and all of the other, you know, nobles, all the other Moors and Muslims out there that are sharing truth and information. I'm happy that we're all on this journey together. And I see that this is the tribe, right? That's the tribe that my soul is gravitating towards. But I'm a man of my people, and I just wish that everybody could see what I see. Not because I want people to see what I see, but because I want people to at least see that they have so much more power than they are behaving like they have. To know that and to act in that, but not to do so in a domineering or evil way, but to do so in a godly way, in a creative way. And we do in so many ways, we really do. I don't mean to sound, I know a lot of people's emotions might be up with everything going on or not. Maybe people find it funny, like, I don't know, right? Like, but my general vibe of what I'm seeing, how people are reacting, and it's so contrarian, you know, I'm so contrarian to that, to the majority of people. And it's the real life. It's like when I am out in the streets and talking to people in real life, that's what it is. It's not like just the internet. It's not like get off the internet kind of thing, you know. It's like this is what America is right now. The majority, it seems like. I mean, maybe it's 50-50. Maybe it really is like that. You know, maybe it's not even that many people. Maybe it's just the people that they get to be on the TV and what we see. But like, no one should really be cool with what's going on the news right now. In any way, none of it is normal or regular. And even acting like it's normal or regular right now is a very strange thing to be doing. Unless you're lying like these people are too. You know, it's weird behavior. I mean, people that blind to when they're being people are pulling wool over their eyes. I don't like to think that the average person is not that intelligent. I don't like to think that, to be honest. But maybe that's what it is. Is that a mean thing to say? I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to offend anyone. But yeah, I don't know. This video's going on for too long. This is just me getting out these thoughts This has been Noir Astrology. And, you know, because I feel like this stuff needs to be said, I'm gonna put this up. So let's see what it is. All right, Pax et Amor, Infinite Lucem.